What am I talking about next? Oh yeah, I'd like to talk to you guys about marketing. I know that we haven't discussed that much of the actual writing part of the process yet, but it is never too early to think about marketing. You should probably write your press release and your back cover blurb before you bash out the first chapter. And when you do write that first chapter, make sure it's something marketable. Now, what do I mean by marketable? Let's take a quick look at the way that a book gets published. As an author, your first step is getting your work accepted by a literary agent. Agents tend to go for books that they think publishers will buy. Publishers go for books that they think supermarkets will buy. Supermarkets go for books they think the public will buy, and the public stands around in supermarkets wondering why there are so many celebrity biographies. That's the basic dynamic. So, as an author, you need to stay on top of that process. You need to stay one step ahead. Observe current market trends and plan accordingly. I've written a short sample of an opening chapter that demonstrates what I mean, what you need in order to get a foot in the door of the publishing industry. So this is just one example of the kind of thing that you could do. The Dark Knight Academy for witches, wizards, tropical vampires and tragically abused children was just waking up when the screaming started. Secret Agent Sam Glowingly sprang athletically from his bed and reached for his pistol. He'd been undercover for 3 weeks now, and this was the first sign of trouble, unless you counted the theft of the Holy Grail the previous week, which he didn't. Whatever the problem, he was sure he could handle it. He'd faced seemingly impossible odds before, like that time his wife had been forced to choose which of their twin daughters to donate a kidney to. He kicked open the door and found a young orphan vampire wizard wailing in the corridor outside. What's wrong? He quizzed. See how we're avoiding said? It all links up, guys. I've been shockingly yet predictably abused. Sobbed the boy. It was a slightly unhinged middle-aged author, but I don't know his name. I think I know who's responsible. Agent Glowingly ejaculated. So as you can see, it's really not that hard to write a novel that's going to sell millions of copies worldwide. The key is to get all the right elements mixed together. And when you've got all those elements, you need to market yourself. As an author, you are your product, and you mustn't be afraid to try and sell yourself. Not like a prostitute, just that, you know, you allow people to become intimately acquainted with you in order to make money. You open an intensely personal and private part of yourself to public consumption for other people's enjoyment. Not like a prostitute at all. But like a prostitute, you can drum up trade by putting yourself on display in public places. And these days, there's nowhere more public than the internet. So my advice to you is, as an author, you must have a web presence. I've been running How to Write Badly Well as a website for about 9 months now. And one of the most fascinating things about running a website is that with the right software, you can see what people have searched for on Google in order to find your site, and it can be a real eye-opener. So, for example, my website appears on the first page of results for the word synopsis, which is a technical literary term to do with the structure of subclauses. So I can only imagine that the 105 people who stumbled across my site while searching for information on that were bitterly disappointed. 39 people searched for "Is John Stickley Scottish?", which I had no idea was a hot issue. It just goes to show. 18 people searched for the phrase "how to write," which doesn't sound that surprising until you realise that my site is on page 22 of those results. So that's 18 people who are genuinely desperate for help and advice. How bad is their writing? 10 people searched for "how to write badly shizzle dizzle." That exact phrase. That could have been one person 10 times. In fact, I think I know who that was. I think that, just judging by the language and syntax, may have been Ozymandias Ramesses II, King of Kings and Pharaoh of the Nile Delta, because, I don't know if you know, that's how they talked in 1300 BC. One person searched for a personification about a wrestler, which is quite a specific query, for what I imagine is quite a specific need that arose. I wish that person all the best, but I can't help them. And one person searched for best ever funny cat captions photos. It's an interesting through route. This last one is a market that I'm really interested in tapping into. Not specifically illiterate cat lovers, but, you know, general internet browsers, people who might stumble across my work by accident. So I wrote this next piece with that in mind, trying to attract passing internet traffic with the careful use of just subtle keywords. And it goes like this. Fighting for breath, Brittany bin Laden sprinted away from the collapsing building with all the speed of a get-rich-quick scheme or celebrity nipple slip. A massive explosion tore seductively through the virgin wall behind her, a wall which was 18 years old and ready for fun. Yikes, thought Brittany. This is certainly exclusive breaking news which might well affect current stock prices. Just then, a truck carrying cheap pharmaceutical goods veered off the road, narrowly missing her. That could have killed me, thought Brittany, her life flashing before her eyes like a free bootleg movie download. There are so many things I regret. I wish I had won top prizes as an online Euro casino, or talked to more singles in my area. Brittany, someone shouted. She squinted through the smoke. It was her friend and lover, Jesus Michael Jackson Obama sexton. Are you okay? He said, offering her coupon codes for genuine software downloads. And, since I wrote that, traffic on the site has actually fallen. Just goes to show marketing is not an exact science, so do be careful with that one.